G'day to all adventurers, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing well as usual. Now this right here is my Beta 480RR. If you're already subscribed to the channel, you would have seen this thing. I've got a couple of build videos up already where I run you through everything that I've added to the bike since I got it brand new. And recently I just got back from my Victorian High Country adventure for 2025, which was the first real big test for this bike. Stick around in this video guys, we're going to go have some fun out here on the local tracks, and I'm going to run you guys through some of the mods I've added since the last build video, as well as give you my thoughts on the bike. How did it go on its first real big test down in the high country? The good, the bad, the ugly, everything. So stick around, we'll go have some fun on what feels like the first blue sky sunny day that we've had here in Queensland for a long time. Let's get into it. So if any of you are new here, firstly, hit that subscribe button. I would love for you to stick around, join the two-wheel adventure crew, and don't miss out on any of my future videos, including this bike and others and all my adventures. But if you haven't seen this bike, it's my 2024 Beta RR 480. I will put a link down below to the previous build video so you guys can go back there, check that out if you want to, and catch up to date with how we got to this point right here. But at the end of the last build video, I made mention of a couple of things that I had on order waiting to get before I set off to the high country. I didn't film putting them on because I was a bit rushed. I only had a couple of days before I set off, so I just slapped them on the bike and away I went to the high country for 4 days of some awesome riding on this bike. Now, one of the things I mentioned that I was waiting on was obviously my mirrors. Now, you can see right here, I don't have any mirrors on. I took them off yesterday before I come up here for this ride. I don't need them on for this ride, but I did run them down the high country. They went well, did the job. I'll put some shots up on the screen of what they look like if you haven't seen the high country videos, but basically, the reason I went with those ones is because of the look. I mean, they're a different shape than your standard circle enduro mirrors that you get generally from some other brands. But the ones that I got, Bryce, who did the high country ride with me, he had them on his KTM 690. I'll put the link down below to where I got them from, but they were only around 50-60 bucks, so really cheap. I did bump this left side on a tree. It spun around, tightened it back up. Away we went, no dramas at all. The only thing to mention with the Beta, it's a bit weird the way they come with the mirrors that come with the bike. It's a bit strange, but it does come with this bracket here, this little mount that you chuck here, tightens straight to your brake reservoir. The bike does come with that one to get the right hand mirror on, but on the left it doesn't come with this one that I've got here. All Beta give you is a little clamp that clamps on there and chuck your mirror on that. It's really flimsy, it looks crap, doesn't work very well. So I've done away with that. I had to search online a fair bit to find this thing, but it's a little aftermarket piece that I found from a company over in Western Australia somewhere. So as I said, I'll link it all down below if you guys want to do something similar, but that works way better than the little clamp that comes with the Beta anyway. That's the mirrors. And the other thing that I was waiting on is this right here. This is my fuel tank. It didn't get here before the high country trip, which I was gutted about. So I did have to run a fuel bladder. The stock tank's 9 litres. But this is the IMS, I think it's 12.8 litres. I do want to drain it and I'll fully fill it up to see how much I can actually fit. Sometimes they advertise them as a certain literage, but you might be able to creep a little bit more in there depending where the pickup is in the fuel tank. So I'll test that out in the future, but really happy to have that on. It's actually the first ride I've done with the new tank on there, but I didn't film any of that. I just wanted to get it on so I could get out here and test it. But pretty simple to chuck on, take the old one off, take all the bits and pieces off that tank, put it in that one, and away you go. Sorry guys, just quickly, but I did forget to mention that if you do chuck a tank like this on your RR model, you'll have to get the bracket from Beta to move your traction control button from the frame up to your handlebars to get it out of the way of the tank. You can see mine here mounted on the bars just there. It's really easy to do, just thought I'd make a quick mention of that. Anyway, back to the video. The only other thing that I've added that I made mention of in the last build video is the GPS mount that I've got just here. I got this one just from AliExpress, believe it or not, and it's an unreal mount. Sits down super low just there, and then I can chuck my Garmin Zumo XT mount on top of that. Don't have the GPS on there today, I don't really need it, but it sits a lot lower than the mount that I did have previously, so really happy with that. But as I said, I'll link it all down below. If you guys want to check it out, get these mods on yourself, feel free. That's pretty much all the mods that I've added since the last video, so make sure you go back, check the other videos out if you want to keep up to date. To be honest, there's not really a whole lot left that I want to do to this bike. I do want to get some steg pegs on this thing. I really missed them in the high country. Got all the tracks done, no worries, but I'm so used to having steg pegs on from the DRZ. I really want to get them on this bike and see how they go on here. Maybe a different exhaust, maybe. Doesn't need it. Sounds pretty good with the stock one, but other than that, everything is pretty dialed in for what I want. Enough of that chit chat. We'll head out, go for a ride out here on this beautiful day, and I'll chat to you guys of how the bike actually feels and how it went on this big adventure. Bit of a steeper one to kick off than I thought. So basically the high country trip that we did, and I did on this bike, 4 days of riding, crossing all of the high country area. So 4 days, each day anywhere from 200 to about 250 kilometers distance, with a bit of everything, all sorts of tracks, some harder ones, some easier fire trails, rocky, muddy, steep, you name it. We pretty much did it down there. So it was about a total of, I think, 900 kilometers for the whole trip over the 4 days. But anyway, how did the beta go? Oh god, that's a hole. Oh, all right, stand by. Get myself out of this mess. But that kind of trip is literally what I bought this thing for. Trailer it to an area, set off for a few days, and away you go. So the first thing that I absolutely love on this bike, for any ride really, but especially down in the high country, is the gearbox. The gearing on this thing is so good for a dual sport, lightweight adventure setup. So down there it went absolutely amazing. It's got a wide spectrum covered the way it's geared already from stock. So drop it down to first gear, get those really steep hill climbs done. But also if you've got to do a bit of a highway stretch, you can bang it up to 6th gear and clip it on at 100 k's, no worries at all. But the best thing about it is the luggability of the whole thing. Now what I mean by luggability is, if you're in a high gear, you come to some kind of steep climb, some kind of challenge, the bike will just keep chugging away for you, which is what you want when you ride like me, that is. But like right now I'm in 2nd gear, I'm just putting along and it's ready. But if I wind it on, there's plenty of power there ready to go. So the luggability of the gearbox is absolutely amazing. I love the way it's geared from stock. I don't need to change any of the sprockets. It works perfectly for the type of riding that I do. But if you are planning on doing a lot of single track, well, you wouldn't pick a 480, 500 anyway. But if you were looking to do that, you would probably have to change the sprockets on this thing. But for the dual sport lightweight adventure bike that I'm building it to be, gearbox is absolutely amazing. Now the second thing that I absolutely love on this bike, and in the high country it's done amazing, is the suspension. Now this is the RR model, so in 2024 they had the RR and they had the race model as well. But now in 2025 onwards they have, oh here we go, have the X Pro and they have a race model. So the X Pro would be comparable to what I have now, but basically their base model as far as suspension goes. You want the race model, you're going to get some fancier suspension, which I have ridden on a race model when I was in Bali and I hired a bike there. So race model suspension is a lot better. So yeah, very happy with the suspension. I don't see any need for me needing to upgrade it. The only reason I would is if I really wanted to load this thing up with camping gear and everything, but I still think it probably could do that. Look at that, eats it up. I still think it probably could take a little bit more weight on the back. Still had a little bit of preload left I could do, but that's not why I bought this bike. I bought it to be a dual sport setup, lightweight adventure bike. You know, going pub to pub, or have a support vehicle like we did in Vic. That's how I want to run this bike. Not load it up to the hills. Oh, it is boggy out here in some spots. a couple of other things to touch on that I absolutely love about this bike. Obviously the weight of the thing, super lightweight. I'll have to find the exact number, but it's somewhere around 110 kilos from stock, so I wouldn't be too far off that with a couple of things I've added. But the weight is so much more manageable out on the harder tracks. For someone like me, your average rider, that's what you want. You want lightweight. It's way more fun. You're not worried about taking down a random track because you know you can throw the bike around and get yourself out of trouble. So that's massive. And this seat, believe it or not, is actually so good for a stock seat. I have not looked back. It's comfy as. I haven't had a problem. We did plenty of maintained fire roads in the high country, did some tarmac stints as well, so obviously I'm just sitting down and I did not have a complaint at all. Whereas you compare that when I got my DRZ brand new, I think within an hour of riding the thing, sitting down, I was over it and that seat needed chucking out. So for a dirt bike seat, it is ultra comfy, and I don't see the need for having to change it because most of the rides I do on this thing I'm going to be up down anyway, so that is good, because a replacement comfort seat for any bike is never a cheap process. So I have a seat that's good already out of the box. Happy days. I know the Husky that Brandon had in the high country, I didn't sit on it, but I touched the seat and it felt a lot firmer. So let me know in the comments below if you have a Husky or KTM 500. Let me know what their seats are like. I wonder if they're as comfy, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people get replacement seats, comfort seats. Let's go, big girl, eat it. Let her sing. Woohoo! How's the backdrop here? Absolutely beautiful. Out here on the trails. I almost ducked down this track here, but seen a couple of trees down, so I'm not hopping over them. So we might find another way around. But I've been absolutely amazed with this bike. Well, not amazed, I mean, I kind of expected it. I wanted it to be good. That's why I bought it. I've absolutely loved my time with it so far. The high country adventure, it went absolutely amazing, flawless. Nothing went wrong with the bike at all. The only thing that went missing was one of these bolts here that holds this little cover on the exhaust. I did have my Krieger base and bags over the top of it, so I didn't see it come out, but I'm assuming the bags must have been rattling this and it came loose. But I got a replacement one from Beta and that is sorted. But other than that, everything else went perfectly. I haven't had a single issue with the bike. It's got 30-hour intervals for servicing. I think on that 4-day ride we did around mid-20 something hours. Perfect length. Serviced it when I got it back home, ready to go. Before I started today, I thought I had my first big issue. I went to start the bike and she was cranking over, but she was not starting, and I was like, oh no, maybe it's the spark plug or something. But it started the other day when I changed the tank, and then I found underneath here one of the cables for the fuel line there. The fuel pump was not plugged in. I hadn't put it back in after I fiddled around with the tank the other day, so my fault, just the idiot running things here. But other than that, she has been great. If you've seen the earlier videos, you would have heard me say why I bought this bike. It's pretty much just a point of difference for my videos out here. I wanted a 500, but everyone's done the KTMs and the Huskies to death. There are a few Shercos popping up out there, the Sherco 500s, I've seen those. There's not too many Betas that I've seen out there, so I wanted to try it and just see how it goes. And obviously it was much cheaper than some of those other ones. I got this thing for around 13 grand as a run out model, so an absolute steal. So if you add up everything that I've put on this bike already once buying it, I'm probably really in at the same as what you'll go and get one of them KTM 500s brand new at the moment. Maybe even have some change left over. Really budget friendly. The only thing left to do is just keep on riding the thing. The longevity is the only thing that I can't comment on. I've done 1,000 kilometers, 2 services in that 1,000 kilometers, but everything else has been absolutely sweet. The only major issue they mentioned with these bikes is some gears that are in there. I think it was the oil pump gears. They are plastic and can break after a long time, but I'll change them out at some point and put some replacement metal ones in there and should be good to go. Other than that, I don't think anything else should be an issue, but I absolutely love the thing, as I've already said. Let me know down below if you guys love the beta, and let me know if you think it's a KTM Husky killer. Is everyone going to start jumping on these things? Because they're only becoming more and more popular in Australia, that's for sure. Man, how big are the spiders around here? Cobwebs are like bloody wire rope in my face. Ah, another one. Spiders everywhere. Oh god. Let's not run into that one. Sorry mate. Oh, that's not good. Sixth gear, 100k an hour. No worries. Big beta. I rode down that hill to just ride back up and get some camera footage of me riding by. Didn't think it was going to be hard to get back up. I was very wrong. Well, it's not pretty. I'm getting there. Holy crap. I got off the bike there because that was that deep. It's already dragging foot pegs. Had my fat ass on it. Probably dragging everything else. So basically, what I'm trying to tell all of you is I absolutely love my Beta 480 RR. It is the bike for me currently for lightweight dual sport adventure type stuff and these sort of day rides. It's the winner for me. Is it a KTM Husky killer? I think so. I think it is, for me anyway. Majority of it comes down to the price, but for what you get with this thing, with Beta, I think you might be better off. Well, at least that's my thoughts anyway. But remember, that's coming from me, who's never owned a KTM 500 or Husky 501, so keep that in mind. But I believe you buy this thing, save some dollars, and then spend it to mod the bike out, kit it out how you want, and away you go. You're onto a winner straight away. So that is everything from me out here today about the Beta. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I'm going to enjoy the next hour or so as I slowly make my way back to the car along these tracks and just enjoy the ride for a change rather than filming everything. So thanks so much for watching. Really hope you enjoyed the beta content. I don't know if there'll be any other build videos coming. There might be a few little things here and there, but there really isn't too much more that I want to do to this thing at this point anyway. That always changes with bikes. You always think you're done. You're never done. But make sure you subscribe before you go if you want to see any more content with the beta and all of my adventures going forward. Plenty more stuff to come. And also check the links out down below. Make sure you support Krieger, Dirt Fair. They help keep this thing rolling, keep the channel going and get me out on these adventures. And be sure to jump over to the link I've got there to my website. Grab yourself some merch. I've got a new shirt design up there, Two Wheel Adventure Crew. So grab one of those guys, join the Two Wheel Adventure Crew. Hopefully I'll see you out there on the ride soon. Thanks for watching. Ride safe in your own two wheel adventures. See you soon.